All right, let's get her going for the next 2 hours. The real Kyper and Bourne show. We are live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. If you miss our show, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we love the chats, love the thumbs up. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Derek Brandale, Frank the Tank, Baraska. And Sammy, try to keep your area neat over there.
Keep her clean,
keep
boys.
her clean.
Who, me?
Yeah, me?
Oh, my God.
Massive email
I don't know.
today because of you.
Listen, I'm going to be nice here, but wouldn't throw stones from a glass house over there, brother.
When I leave,
Yeah.
I'm the last. You guys are shot out of a cannon when the show's over. Like
That's
gone.
not true.
It's just a vapor.
That's not true.
I stay back.
Yeah. With your
And I ask
dustpan.
Ailish, who
your
takes
Swiffer.
over this seat, Ailish, how's it look? You happy? It's clean? Is there a wrapper? Is there a chocolate wrapper that Justin threw at me?
Yeah. You're dusting for fingerprints over there, pal. Keep up the great work.
Yeah. I don't believe I found a lineup from 3 years ago in the desk.
Yeah, maybe. Just a couple. All right. Plenty
We're in
of
trouble.
conversation to be had here, including our update on the Toronto Maple Leafs, which
Daily, we need
is
to sponsor this segment.
Chayka watch.
it's all quiet.
Chayka watch.
What is going on?
We are. It is a Chayka watch, is it not?
I know.
There's like really no one else. If there is, it might be one of the best kept secrets in Leaf history.
I kind of like the idea of there being some
Mystery?
well, sure, Scott White hasn't been told he's out of it yet. Like Mike Gillis just kind of faded into the background like Homer into the bushes. Like, is he still, does he exist?
Where's he around?
But yeah, no, it's everyone you talk to is like, nope, it's those two guys. They're working on contracts. That's what's happening. So, I mean, do you have any new thoughts? Has anything changed for you?
I got a question.
Sure.
Have you heard a good story about him yet?
Well, it's not that I haven't heard any good stories so much as
Okay.
You're talking about John Chayka, and like if there's anything
Like a positive,
Positive.
one positive thing.
did some of those deferred contracts,
Okay.
which was creative and
Okay.
thoughtful.
Okay.
in about 10 minutes, we're going to have Steve Peters, who works at ESPN and is got his show called Inside the Coach's Room.
Mhm.
And he might have some insight because he did work with John Chayka.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. He was with the Coyotes for 25 years almost.
Yeah.
And so he was there before and after Chayka. So he'll have seen the whole arc from his opening pitch to
So
when it was
that-
over.
that'll give a different perspective, right? Like at the end of the day, we're just three guys on the outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
but he might have some insight. And that's what's going to happen between now and when they name him official.
Yeah.
If that happens at all,
Guys just trying to find stuff out.
people trying to find stuff out. What else is out there on the likes of John? I mean,
Yeah.
Matt's
I
not
w-
so much. We know Matt's. Everybody knows Matt's. It's been well documented. He launched his book last year. Pick that up and get to know him even more.
Mm-hmm. I guess
Chayka's still a bit of a mystery, though.
Yeah, the thing that's changed the most maybe is a better understanding of Ty Domi's involvement, which, and I can't even pin down how much that is, but it does sound like he has been a part of the selection process, and we know he has strong ties to Sundin and Chayka. So
And it popped up yesterday.
Yeah,
in another
and
athletic
Keith Pelly,
stories.
too.
and Keith Pelly too, right?
Yeah, and it popped up yesterday in another athletic story with the connections between Max and Chayka and all that different stuff that came out. So it's, there's some dots that you start to connect.
So Chayka worked with Max in junior?
I think there was a connection there.
Okay.
Yep.
Not in like
Yeah. Well, Chayka originally was University Western, right?
yeah,
Which was by London.
right. So,
So I do believe that there's a history there between Chayka and Max.
okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone I talk to, Sam's point, you talk to people about this, and the biggest thing is I guess people just don't really know what to think because he hasn't been in the league in a while, and the first tenure was under such weird conditions, right? Like the Arizona Coyotes were Weird. What?
Just out to left field a little bit. I just remembered.
Okay.
I just remembered Keith Pelly hiring Ty for TSN when he retired.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I got this story straight.
Okay.
And I'm sure if I see Ty next time, or maybe even Keith, they'll straighten me out. But I think the story goes that Max or a Ty, on his first night of being an analyst for TSN, did the opening game.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the game was over, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, he's leaving. They're like, where are you going? It's a doubleheader. We got another game. He goes, not for me.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's funny.
My God, that's funny, man.
Those super coveted gigs that, that I would love to have myself one day. Those guys grind, man. You see Alexa and those guys
they're late.
It's late. It's 2 months straight.
Double overtime last night in Vegas.
Yeah, I saw our boy Tim McAuliffe uploading an Instagram story. It was like 3:50 a.m.
I ran into Ken Reed yesterday, and I was like, "Yeah, what you watching tonight? What you into?" And he was like, "Rooting for regulation, pal." And then woke up and saw that one went to 2 OT.
Then I had Hockey Central at noon.
Oh yeah,
coming off double headers.
Oh yeah, so you were right.
Double headers and double overtimes.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
It's a busy life.
Anyways, yeah. So we'll talk to Steve Peters. Also, Keith Jones will join us later on. Another former player turned president. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's got some insight on what potentially Matt Sundin could be looking at.
Well, and same with our guest in the 5 o'clock hour,
Kevin Lowe.
So can I ask you just on the Sundin thing? Because I don't know if it's true or not, but we've seen a lot of connections between, people. I think Merrick brought up Mike Johnson as a possibility. Guy works for TSN, clearly does all the regionals on there. And somebody DM'd me and said that him and Matt's are very tight. Is that true? Do you know?
They were line mates.
Okay. Well, I just said that they might be friends.
Yeah, we were all together. Yeah. I mean, for me, very short period of time. Yeah. Mike Johnson spent a lot more time with Matt's.
Okay. I was just wondering if that's a name that, if that was
Mike Johnson?
Name. Yeah. Because it's popped up here and there. And I know Merrick brought it up, and I know it's kind of been battered around here and there in the millions of names that have been brought up. But there's a connection to Matt's there. I found that interesting.
Honest to God, you'd almost feel better if it were him as GM, because you'd be like, who's followed the league more closely. He's at ice level for years and years and years. This guy knows it ins and out.
I do believe that if Matz comes in, he'll be able to grow out his team. Mm-hmm. So whether or not it's a Mike Johnson or anyone else, I think he'd have full control over those type of names.
Okay. I was just interested. Because I just said somebody had told me that. I didn't know if it was true.
One of the appeals, I think, is that Matt's and Chayka come from such different worlds, right? Mm-hmm. Matt's
the odd couple.
Well, yeah, and Matt's knows all of those people and that hockey side and the history of it and the culture side of it, all that, and obviously Chayka is from the business world and from a data side, and you hope between the two of them you kind of cover all your bases, and
you hope.
That's all I got.
I got a text from our boy Mike Gentili, producer of the Fan Hockey Show, to some hosting on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, that the segment was called Win, Lose, or Tie with Ty Domi.
Oh, really?
All right.
So there you go.
All right.
But if it ties and we go to overtime, I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Yeah. I think once Ty found out that he really had to put some time and effort into that type of job, and at times, whether it's Mike Johnson or myself, at times you got to jump on a plane and go work.
Yeah.
It probably just wasn't his thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
What would you say you do here?
Were he to be involved in the front office, does that affect Max in any way?
I don't know how that would work, to be honest with you. I'm not sure.
Maybe that'd be viewed as a conflict, so Ty wouldn't do something, or I don't know.
I don't know whether or not we'll see Ty in any official role. To be honest with you, it could be as simple as, "Hey, I know John Chayka. We had we were together in Arizona or Phoenix at the time, whatever they were called back then.
Yeah.
And he had some amazing ideas. It falls into what Keith Pelly's looking for. Here's an introduction. It could just be as simple as that. And if people want to speculate right now, does it lead more to something official for Ty? If it does, then I think it's a fair question on your part to ask, well, how would that affect Max?
The one thing that stands out is Max's Arizona Coyotes days. He was there and then not from 19 to 19 or 18-19 to 19-20. Chayka must have traded Max at some point. No,
Maybe.
And maybe his contract's up. He just signed somewhere else. Anyway, that's
Checking it.
just a random thought I had.
I
Do
just-
you remember the trade?
No, Galchenyuk.
Yeah, to Montreal. Yeah, where Max had like great success.
yeah, his best
In
year.
Montreal. Yeah, he was awesome there.
Yeah.
That
That's-
was.
It's not encouraging from a Chayka perspective. got rid of him right before his best year.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
can't hit all home runs. You need a couple singles.
He hit a few.
have a couple, non-strikeouts. I'm hoping he looks more like Okamoto recently than when he started.
Yeah, he'll get it figured.
So
Yeah.
I think the overarching feeling I'm having about this is if John Chayka comes in here and is named the general manager and that's done, he's going to have a lot of proving people wrong to do. And that a lot of people that are in the media and that have been writing about this and have been talking about this have some pretty strong preconceived notions about this guy. And that I feel like it's going to be a pretty big uphill battle from the start. Don't you?
I do feel like I even wonder if it would benefit him to give some clarity on the years in Arizona. How tied were your hands? What were you able to do? What were your restrictions?
Including ultimately being suspended by the NHL. Do you think he needs to come clean on that, or some clarity on that as well, and what happened and why it happened?
I mean,
Do you think people would be interested in
I
that?
think they'd be interested, but I don't think he has to do that. That's not.
Or has it been well documented already? Is it out there?
Nothing
And
that
I've
happened-
not really researched it in the last little while. I don't know in terms of what is really out there or not, where he got caught for lying or cheating or whatever the league interpreted how he broke the rules of the CBA. But was it clear or not clear on all of that?
Nothing that happened in the state of Arizona regarding hockey has been covered extensively.
Excellent point by you.
Either Craig Morgan wrote about it or no one found out about it.
That's true.
So that's all I got. So I don't.
Yeah.
That's the extent of that.
All right.
Yeah. Now, the other concern is, and I'm with you in terms of whether or not you can ultimately feel like, okay, if he broke the rules and he was suspended and it cost the team a first and a second, that's a great penalty. It's a significant penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like he's paid his dues and he's learned his lesson, and clearly the NHL does because they reinstated him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if he ends up here, like there be many, including yourself, as you had said, that says, hey, it's a fresh start.
Yeah.
Right? Like, give the man a fresh start. But
I hope people.
here's the but
give him
part,
a
though,
chance.
is like, and this is my concern too, is how will other general managers or teams feel about him?
Mm-hmm.
What do they remember about dealing with him? Where is his reputation and his credibility to go back into that world? Because this team isn't like it's got a huge runway to try to get better again.
Right.
It's like it's a very short window here to try to get them back into the playoffs as early as next April. And John, how are you getting there? Because you don't have any prospects, grade A blue chip prospects, depending on, where you feel with a few of the Marlies.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to you don't have any draft choices of significance to throw out there. It's like, how are you going to do this? You got to go back to those general managers
Make deals.
and make deals right away. And it's like, okay, it's okay for us to say, hey, you get a fresh change, but how do they feel?
Yeah, I do think that this is my own opinion, but I think that people didn't want to deal with Dubas sometimes because you don't want to like get burned by the Toronto market or the boy wonder kid.
Yeah.
You know, you're very cautious in dealing with a guy like that.
Remember the waiver claim thing?
Right. And I think Chayka probably carries some of that too. It's like they know the position he's in. And when you come in and you're like, I'm looking to do something creative here, I'm sure it might be hard. But the one thing I'll say that I like about Chayka versus Tree living before, Tree kicked tires and everything and traded nobody until the deadline moments before.
When he had to.
He was
Chayka
too
traded
slow.
a
He was
lot.
too slow.
Yes. Chayka traded a lot in his time in Arizona. You know, not all hits, but at least he's trying to do something.
Yeah.
Good if you have a radio program. People are making deals. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think he'd get on the phones pretty early and get to it. But I wonder what the holdup is with contracts or whatever. Like, how much do you want? Here's the job.
Job description.
Yeah.
And who answers to who.
Yeah.
Who reports to who.
You know,
Right.
that
Does
can be
Matt's-
worked out over a meal, can't it?
Does Matt's need new scouting staff? Who stays, who goes?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen anybody officially let go or released or.
Was it Freed yesterday talking about how Armstrong was going to be willing to take the bullets for Steen? It would almost be like a service to Mats and whoever that if there are some guys they're going to move on from, to do it so that they don't have to do it. But I guess you'll let Mats come in and make those calls. But how would he know?
But that's the $1 million question.
How would he know?
Is how can he feel comfortable enough to have a true evaluation of their body of work over however long they've been around and how far you want to go back? Pridham's been around all 10 years of Brendan Shanahan's world. Was he not?
Yeah.
So how far would Mats go back to say, hey, what happened here? Right? When we lost, when we gave up a first rounder and it ended up being Seth Jarvis, like what happened?
But also you need someone like that to tell you about what's happened and how the internal operations have run and who do you keep, who do you know? Anyway.
Okay, let's welcome in Steve Peters, works for ESPN. He's an analyst for Inside the Coaches Room. Also been around the Phoenix Coyotes at the time. Arizona, was the name switch done when you were still there?
Everything was done when I was there. I missed 1 year. I was there 97 to 2020. So I was there from Keith Kachuk all the way to the bubble. So I saw a lot of stuff in Arizona.
So, Steve, obviously with the feel that John Chayka is right at the forefront in all of this for the Toronto Maple Leafs, many around here, including us, are starting to wonder who's John Chayka and what can he bring to the table. And, you know, let's just start there. What stands out for you in terms of why the Leafs would be so interested in John Chayka?
I think this is interesting. And I'll tell you, the people I talked to around Arizona when his name started to surface on the rumor mill with this job, everybody was surprised. And I think with John, you're getting a very smart guy. John's smart. John doesn't have the success he had at 25, 26 years old because he's not a smart guy. He knows how to say the right things to people. He reads, he studies, he learns from people that have succeeded and things that he wants to do. So you're going to get a guy that's smart, that he's going to look at every angle of a deal. He's going to look at every angle budgetarily and as a player, as looking at players. So I think that's the asset. I know we're talking about analytics. And by the way, this drives me absolutely insane that now Toronto's going to be, they've had an analytics department for how many years? Like every team in the league has an analytics department. So to say, hey, we're finally going to accept analytics and embrace analytics, I think is a little bit of a misnomer on what you're bringing in with John Chayka. Yes, he looks at numbers, but every GM looks at numbers. Kyle Dubas looked at numbers. So I think you're bringing in a smart guy that's going to try to bring that intelligence inside the hockey room back in Toronto.
So maybe tell us a little bit about, like, that's a crazy thing to me that at 26 years old, they handed the keys of the organization over to him. So how did it look like? How did he end up in that role? I know you were around at that time.
Yeah, it's strange. And I think for people that have been around this league, and you guys have been around the league for a long time, players are used to going through juniors, American League, battling it out, finding your way to the National Hockey League. Employees have to do the same thing. They have to find their way to the National Hockey League through the grind and get their way there through the things that they have done. With John, he was a kid out of university that really had no hockey, NHL hockey experience on his resume. He had started Staffleets in university, and you guys have already mentioned it. His close relationship with Max Domi started while he was still at university. He was Max Domi's personal trainer. He was Max Domi's nutritionist. He was kind of the end-all catch-all for Max Domi in London. And I think that's what really got him, honestly, on the path to getting the job in Arizona. Through that relationship with Ty, he was introduced to businessmen in Toronto who ultimately became part of the ownership group in Arizona. Hey, and then Don Maloney was introduced to John. Hey, we got this really smart analytics guy. He's got his own analytics company. You need to bring him in. But it went from an interview in the summer of 2015 to a month later, he's assistant general manager. And within a year, he's general manager. And 2 years later, he's president. It all happened so fast that I think everyone in the periphery of that rise to success for John Chayka was very surprised. One, at how quickly it happened, and two, how many boxes he didn't check prior to getting there. Now, and I'm not saying that in a negative tone. I'm just saying he hadn't had a job in the NHL before. And now he is not only assistant general manager, he's general manager at 26. And this is a guy that didn't know the inner workings of the NHL, didn't know, the day-to-day grind or when the bus leaves or how the hotels work. Or do you leave after games, or all of those conversations with coaches and players and all of those things. He had never been through that. And now he's thrust into the role of general manager. And I think there was a little bit of shock in that and how quickly he propelled. Having said that, again, we talk about how smart he is. But at the very same time, you look at what Kyle Dubas was going through in Toronto. Similar paths in that they're young, smart guys that are really driven by numbers and analytics. But Dubas at that time said, I'm not quite ready to be the GM. I'm going to learn under Lou Lamoriello. I'm going to learn all the ins and outs of things outside of the analytics realm, things that have nothing to do with numbers and stats, the actual job of being a general manager, how to negotiate contracts, how to deal with other GMs, how to deal with players and send players down, and all of the things that go with it. John didn't have that experience. Dubas became an assistant GM, and I really believe the success Dubas is having now in Pittsburgh is because he did take the opportunity to learn from those around him. Unfortunately for John, his entire staff was made up of people that he knew, that he was close with, that were all under the age of 26. So the assistant general managers, the stats guy, everybody in that bubble was just as inexperienced as he was. And that was a concern around Arizona at that time. And there was this thought that there was going to be someone helping him, an assistant GM. And I won't throw out names now because it doesn't matter. But there were legit NHL guys that had been through management, either as a GM or an assistant GM, that were in talks to join John Chayka at that time. And it just never came to fruition. And I really think if John would have had that guidance through all of the things outside of the analytics world, that he would have probably never have had this 6-year lapse from the NHL.
You're watching and listening to Steve Peters, NHL ESPN producer. Also, of course, you worked for Arizona/Phoenix under John Chayka. We are discussing John Chayka. Can I ask you, just in terms of the fast track of John Chayka in Arizona, where was the weakness of ownership and how that played into ultimately his days there and then the ending there as well?
Yeah, it's interesting. And we've talked about that in Arizona for 20 years. I mean, from the very, very beginning, the ownership in Arizona has been in flux. It's been a problem. It's never had that stability. And at that time, when Chayka came in, it was a group of Canadian businessmen, majority from out west, oil guys from out west, but it was a group. And it was 8 to 10 guys all putting their money in, hey, we're going to own a hockey team. No NHL experience, no sports experience. It was fun. It was fun. Hey, we got a hockey team. And I'll tell you, that's another show for another time on how these owners were on the road and how they acted on the bus and around the team. It was an entertaining time. But because of that and their inexperience with sports, that's what allowed John Chayka to get his foot in the door. Again, with his relationship with this businessman and with Ty Domi, that got the ball in motion. And I think that's that because there was nobody really at the stop gate saying, hey, I don't know if this kid's ready to be a general manager in the National Hockey League. There wasn't that stopgap. Don Maloney didn't have the opportunity to say no, to bring him in as an assistant general manager because the ownership is telling him you're hiring him.
Right.
And I think after Don was let go, there really wasn't much of a process on who was going to be the next general manager of the Arizona Coyotes. It was just almost a foregone conclusion that it was going to be John. And now I keep going back to saying this. John's smart.
Yeah.
And I think he does have a leg up on a lot of people because he's intelligent, communicates extremely well. He's good in a boardroom setting. He knows the right things to say to people at the right time. And that's because he's smart. But I do think there is something to be said for the experience that you can gain from being around that particular industry for a length of time. And I think when he left, again, it was an ownership issue. When the Morello group came in, Morello's had a different idea of how this team was going to be run. And John and the Morellos just didn't see eye to eye. And you could see it right away that this wasn't going to work. It was another group that hadn't been involved in the NHL before and didn't know how to run a sports team. And John butt heads. They were frustrated, and you knew it was going to be a matter of time. How it ended was a surprise to all of us because there was the rumors about the New Jersey Devils, and John's going to take a job not just running the Devils, but the basketball team as well. He's going to run the whole thing, and now he's 29. So I think that time the owner said, okay, that's enough. You're not going there. You're not doing that. You're under contract here. You're extended here. And John just said, that's it. And 3 days before we went to the bubble in 2020 and got on the plane, John Chayka was gone and Steve Sullivan was our general manager.
Steve, great insight in all of this. Before I let you go, let me just ask you, okay, so John goes from the least amount of culture in the NHL to one that's very deep here in Toronto. You say that he's very smart. He can handle himself in so many different ways. I get the sense that you're saying, yeah, maybe he could pull this thing off.
I think his advantage in Toronto are twofold. I think he's matured, hopefully, over the last 6 years in his involvement with businesses. And we're talking big-time businesses across Canada. So I think that will have helped him. And more importantly, in Toronto, he's got a support system. He's got people that have been there before. He's got people hopefully around him. And Matt Sundin is a great example. This is somebody that gives John Chayka a little more cachet. And, okay, he's going to have somebody to help him through this. And I think John was just probably a little bit ahead of his time when he came in Arizona. And here's the concern. You said it. People don't notice what you do in Arizona. They don't notice if you draft Victor Soderstrom and you say he's the face of the franchise and never plays. That's fine in Arizona. We'll move on. In Toronto, you don't get away with that. And the little decisions that you make day to day on calling players up and down and how those trades move, he's not going to be able to hide. And that's what's going to be interesting to me is see how much he has matured and how much he is willing to take outside counsel and advice. And can he take on literally the center of the hockey universe in Toronto? And that's going to be a big task. And people should be skeptical of this hire. They should be. This is someone that hasn't been in the NHL face for years, and he left after lost our draft pick here in Arizona with his little scouting scandal. That hurt. That hurt, and put the rebuild back in Arizona because he violated rules and gets suspended. Those things won't go unnoticed in Toronto where they did in Arizona. I wish him well. I think he's a nice guy that ultimately meant well. I just think he was at the wrong place, wrong place, wrong time with the wrong people in Arizona, and maybe, just maybe, that this could be a thinking outside the box decision that may pay off for Toronto.
Steve, appreciate the insight, man. Thanks for doing this.
Really great stuff, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. This is kind of the big time for me. A little bit of nerves, but
No.
This is it.
You're an analyst for Inside the Coaches Room, right?
Yeah, I just break down a bunch of game film. I was a video coach for 20 years. I can't stop breaking down film. If you want to watch the game, see how plays happen, see who screws up, jump inside.
All right,
It's really
sounds
good.
good.
Can't recommend it enough. Thanks so much, Steve.
Steve Peters.
Geez, that was
That was really
super
good.
insightful.
Really good. And, it sounds like he knows. He's been a part of that history. He knows it. He knows where the pitfalls were for for John, where he had a chance, where he didn't have a chance. Yeah, I found that very insightful.
Doesn't seem like the problems or the pitfalls you mentioned would be insurmountable. You know, if having the guidance of someone, you talk about the culture,
I would think the most exciting thing for John Chayka now is just to know that whatever he needed for support is there.
You got it.
And I don't have to worry about it.
Mhm.
And that falls into what Keith Pelly wanted from the moment he said it on the podium, that this is the direction we want to go, and it fits.
Yeah.
And now I think Leaf fans could have a better understanding of why John Chayka is of such interest to the Maple Leafs right now.
Yeah, if I may say about our own show, I think that's must listen to stuff if you're curious about the direction coming up in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Speaking of must listen, Keith Jones after the break.
Boom,
Yeah.
baby.
All right, plus Kevin Lowe at the top of the hour. Plenty more on Real Kyper and Bourne. Do not go away. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Cam York. Wrist shot in overtime eliminates the Pittsburgh Penguins. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in the president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers, Keith Jones.
Good games again last night. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you can maybe talk
Well,
about the Keith.
0-0. Like, how do you feel about that?
Talk it hockey, boys. Talk it puck.
Is it okay? Is it like watching a pitcher's duel?
It's great when it goes overtime. Anytime it's overtime, it's great. But I
Yeah.
found it.
I also, there's also something that you kind of respect about, neither team giving one up all the whole way. There's something sort of noble about it. But no, it's more fun to watch 5-4.
It's like pulling teeth to try to score in the playoffs now.
One of the most famous goals in playoff history, Steve Yzerman from
against St. Louis?
was
A clap
that
daddy?
was 0-0 in double overtime.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Against John Casey.
just the camera angle made that goal. You had it coming into your living room.
You know how I know it was John Casey and not Grant Fuhr?
Because
Fuhr wasn't playing for some mysterious reason.
some reason.
Yeah.
I wonder what it was.
Interesting. John Casey, was he also in net for the Lemieux triple dangle when he, like the famous Mario
Minnesota?
Lemieux? Yeah.
Inside, outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's maybe the best goal in NHL history.
It's one of them for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, it was good. And then we got the great drama in the Vegas-Utah one. Utah up late in that one, and Vegas stormed back.
And then Andre Vasilevsky has a hole in his glove, and Montreal won.
You tweeting the picture of Dave Thomas from Wendy's as the goalie. Sorry. Vasilevsky's struggled in playoffs.
He's been no good since the Leafs.
I kind of suggested it a little bit, and Valley wanted nothing to do with it. I'm like, tell me if I'm a man on an island, but there's something going on with him. He just doesn't. He's still
shot it through his glove.
He's still as talented as hell. We know that.
Yeah.
But there's something missing in his game right now, and I don't know if it's like
Stopping the
a
puck,
level
is that it?
of aggression where he's. I think he's just trying to rely on his talent too much right now, and it's a bit of a. I'm going to goaltend in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
Like Kirby Dach's goal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Just
but
a little poke at
you
it.
You can't bring the puck over the goal line, right? The icing line, and then pull it in and go far post, right? It's just there's no way.
He does get a poke on it, and Dach kicks it back up
But
to
not
his
an
stick.
aggressive poke, not a.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember someone tried to do a wraparound about on Dobish, and he swung his stick like he was Billy Smith.
Oh, the Billy Smith wraparound.
Yes, oh yeah. Glenn Healy used to do that to me in practice. I'm like,
could you not?
Like, you're gonna break my ankle.
Yeah.
Who was it on the Leafs that got their arm broken by the? Was it?
In practice?
No, in the game. I think maybe was it Perreault?
By the way, in practice, that is psychotic behavior.
Yes.
Like Barrasso came around and
him off.
skipped up off his stick.
I must have pissed him off.
Broke his arm. Like he
man.
swung his stick. Anyways.
Yeah, the heel of a goalie stick has some weight behind it with a little torque.
Like,
so the rumors are starting. Evgeny Malkin, is he done there? How long until we're doing the Sid combos again?
Okay, so what is? Yeah. Where were we going with the Pittsburgh Penguins on this all season long? That your three top players, including Carlson,
could
was
they catch
carrying,
lightning in a bottle while they rebuild?
right?
That's the.
Is it enough for Kyle Dubas to look at Sid and go, "I got you back in. I did my job."
I mean, I don't know if it's enough, but what does enough mean? Like to prevent Sid from storming out and saying trade me, or
I mean, there has to be some more leeway for Kyle Dubas to kind of transition out of this era and go into something else.
I also don't even know that they're ready for that. Like, have they built up the undergrowth enough that they can burn the old forest down here? Like, it just feels like so you got Ben Kindle and I don't know, maybe they got a bunch of guys I'm unaware of.
Okay, so what do you do with Malkin?
Can I turn him into someone? Like,
Well, he's unrestricted, is he not?
oh, is he? Yeah, I'm sure he is.
They
He
got to
definitely is.
re-sign
Oh,
him.
he definitely is. Yeah.
They got to re-sign him. But just to say, Maybe he has another year. Check. I can't even remember now.
No, he's UFA.
He's UFA.
Who? Malkin?
Malkin.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pick up that conversation, but let's go to Keith Jones, President of Hockey Operations for the Philadelphia Flyers. He's got some free time on his hands right now. Jonesy, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Kyper. How you doing, pal?
We're good. So, listen, you make the playoffs and you win the first round, everything going according to your plan, right?
It's going well, that's for sure. But I don't know if I could ever say it's according to plan. Our guys have done a really good job. Talk's done a great job, and I think everybody around here is pretty excited about the way things have gone so far.
Yeah, that's a big step for you guys to get out of the first round here. So what do you attribute your success through that first round of the playoffs?
It's been a combination of things, which is always the answer that you want to give, because you've got a lot of different players that have contributed to your success. And you also have, a coaching staff that's done an outstanding job in helping you get to this point also. Goaltending, though, has been obviously really important for us, and Dan Vladar has been outstanding since the start of the year and picked it up even more as the playoffs came around. It was a big reason why we were able to, get past the Penguins last night, was his outstanding play. So he's one that really stands out. But there's been a committee of players that have done it at different times throughout the season. Trevor Zegras at times, Jamie Drysdale's done a great job. It's a long list, and I think that's what's really important about our group is we are a young, developing team that's, continuing to grow, and I think the future is going to be very bright for us.
So as far as Talkett's concerned, Jonesy, if you can kind of narrow it down for us, and what stands out the most for you, is it the systems? Is it what he's able to get them to do defensively? Is it the work with Zegras and a few others? I mean, what culture, behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things that make, excellent coaches. And through his experiences and through, relationships with other coaches in the league, and including Peter DeBoer and John Cooper, who he worked with, with the Canadian Olympic team, I think he's just gained a ton of different perspectives that he can use to help himself, be the coach that he's become. And then he's really done a great job of taking that information, sharing it with our players, and driving it into our players when necessary. He's got a really good balanced approach in the way he goes about doing things. And I think our guys have benefited from that. Some players that stand out to me as individuals, Zegras, who you mentioned, there's no doubt that there's a great connection that has happened there. Owen Tippett is another player that has excelled under Talk. And then you're taking a whole bunch of young guys that are, 22 and under, like Alex Bump, who's jumped in there and done a great job since the end of the year. Denver Barkey was our best player over the last couple of games in the last series as far as our forwards went. He's still, developing Michkov at the same time. And I think that's gone as well as it could, and kind of as Talk would have planned it. And I think that's important for us as we continue to see our young star players, potential star players, continue to develop. Martone fit in seamlessly. There's just been a lot of good things that Talk has done with a very young roster.
So when we had you on last year, there's a time it was like, I don't know, December, January, you guys were in the playoffs, and we talked about, you guys making playoffs last year, and you're like, we're not there yet. Like, you kind of knew you guys ended up just missing last year, but you kind of knew at the time you weren't there. This year, are you seeing the fruits of that labor, that patience? Because that's a hard thing to have, but it seems like you guys have put in the time to do this in a solid way, so it's actually got some staying power.
I do think that's, been a really important part of this, as Danny has stayed patient in the way that he's approached the trade deadlines in each of the last three seasons, including this year. We didn't look to add. Last year we were definitely selling, but this, trade deadline that just passed, we were definitely thinking that we would just stand pat if we received a ridiculous offer on Rasmus Ristolainen. We would listen to it. But Risto, we believe, was a very important part of our group, and we're not looking to move him, but we're listening because that's where we are in our evolution as a team. So last year, and the year prior to that, we traded players like Sean Walker, who went to Colorado and enabled us to pick up a first-round pick that, hopefully turns into something in our future. That was the plan, and now it shifts to not aggressively buying pieces, but not selling. And I think that was the next part of our plan, and so far it seems to be working out okay.
Jonesy, as far as Mishkov is concerned, every time there's natural kind of development things that pop up, like it would normally for a 21-year-old, this thing ends up being a bigger story than it sometimes should be. But what is it with the relationship, either with maybe fans' expectations or what? But why is it always seem to be a bigger story than other 21-year-olds when it comes to Mishkov?
It's a great question. I think some of it might have to do with the early success that he had. Getting 63 points in his rookie season is pretty impressive. I do think there's areas of his game that Talk believed he needed to work on, and there's areas he still wants to help him improve on. So I really think that's what it comes down to. I think there's a lot of fans that love the kid and want to see him, be an excellent player in this league. And Talk feels the same way as far as wanting the best for him as a player, but also within the team concept. And that's the balancing act. But there's been overreaction from fans along the way, but that just shows how passionate they are. So from our perspective, from up top, there's nothing about anything that's happened that is concerning to us, and we look forward to Matvey being a Flyer for a long time.
Keith, we're in the Leafs hour of our program here, and we're talking about some of the new hires they intend to make. One of the names that's coming up for a president-type role is Matt Sundin. You've got some experience as sort of taking on this role of president, for an organization that you spent time with. What are maybe some of the challenges or, what are you faced with when you take on that role to begin with?
Well, your number one priority is to help your general manager and make sure that you're giving him everything he needs in order to do his job to the fullest. Obviously, Matts would have that as far as a wealth of experience about the market that he would be working in. Also about the game itself, he played it at an extremely high level. I think he would be a real benefit with his knowledge of the sport, how much he's paid attention to the players of today's game would matter. You want someone that's watching hockey every night, that's around hockey, that understands the league and has a good feel for the kids that are arriving and the ones that are here playing. So that's a big help, I think, especially for me, is the fact that I was doing TV for as long as I did and had a great perspective from different angles, including at ice level, on a lot of the current players that are playing. I do think there's value in that. But I think Matt's would be a great choice. And his ability to know the marketplace, I think, would really serve the fans in Toronto well.
Keith, really appreciate your time as always when you come on our show. Best of luck in the second round, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
That is Keith Jones, President, Hockey Operations of the Philadelphia Flyers.
We're on to the second round.
Great to hear Jones'
Top
voice.
8. 32 teams in the league. They're in the top 8. Philadelphia Flyers.
Great.
Yeah, you remember it was the best. We used to have him on. Just like
He was a great guest.
Yeah.
Talk was a good one, too.
Oh, yeah. They stole 2 of our best guests. Yeah, I loved having him on.
You look at that organization and some of the names coming up, like that Alex Bump, they pulled him out of the press box and threw him in. He's the best player on the team that night.
Yeah.
And then they put him, has to come out again.
They're meat and potatoes, man. They're talk it. They're
not big, I don't think. Like, they got a couple big D, but I think of...
Do they have one guy that you can say, and Sanheim was a beast, too. He's the one guy that I think can come close to controlling pace of play out there.
He's a stud.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
When Canada had their backs against the wall, it was like, if it wasn't Makar, he was the best guy.
Yeah, he was really good. So,
But yeah, watching their team, it's like you can see how they should be in the mix for a lot of years to come, but then also how they have, I don't want to call guys expendable, but like if they wanted to do something bigger, they seem like a team that's reasonably well equipped. They have 4 first rounders in the next 3 years, all their picks in the second round, 4 third rounders. Like they got prospects. They can do some things.
Robert Thomas?
They can do some things.
What do you like? What do you think of their chances against Carolina? Is he still there?
Hey, is Jonesy off the line?
I didn't like Philly in overtime last night. I can tell you,
they got caved in for the
Yeah.
whole.
I was like, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
But that's just how
Pittsburgh
hockey
was all
works.
over them.
Yeah.
Sid just with a couple of these little touch passes out in front. The puck ends up right at the top of the blue paint. You thought it was going to be that, but it just never
I
happened.
don't know who cut in front of the net last night.
Mantha. And he tries
Oh
to
my
feather
God.
it 5-hole.
Shoot
Shovel
it,
it.
you're
Just
huge.
shovel it.
Oh, just shovel.
I know. He tried to feather it.
I will say it's like you text me about Dewar the other night. It's
Yeah.
like, gosh, he's a pretty good player. I don't know, maybe he didn't get a chance.
Connor Dewar
Yeah.
was awesome.
That line.
But every time he was
Lazat,
on the
him-
ice, he's buzzing. He's got
Yeah.
the puck on a string. He's dancing.
Did he have the puck in Toronto once?
Nola Chari, Dewar, and Lazat, that fourth line, they were getting every second
It could
shift
have
in
been
overtime.
one of the best fourth lines in the league.
2 former Leafs.
Dewar almost didn't score here, right? He played like 20, 30 games before he shot one in.
I was a proud member of the Dudes.
The
I
Dudes.
love Connor Dewar. I thought he had some potential. So,
Well,
yeah.
what we really liked was his interviews, straight out of the pod, just like
no
he'll
fuss.
punch you in the mouth.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the end of the Pittsburgh Penguins for the year. So yeah, Carolina Flyers. Carolina obviously pretty heavy favorites. I don't think Philly would argue with that.
I would say that. But it's all like what Freddie Anderson's going to show up.
If not this year for Carolina, boys. When?
Is that Vladar signing the best signing of summer?
Wide open, for a conference final or a Stanley Cup final.
It's got to be Carolina. They have to do it this year. They can't stumble.
You're gonna get Montreal or Tampa or Boston or Buffalo in
Yeah.
the conference final.
They'll be favored in every series until they get to the final. This one and the next one, and then who depends who they play in the final. If it's Colorado, they probably won't be favored, but if it's another team, they might be.
God, the NHL just hoping they go Flyers go.
Yeah.
Bettman's wearing an orange suit.
Oh, no.
All
Bettman,
week.
he got all those teams down there. He'll be fired up about having the Carolina team in there, wouldn't he?
Oh, the ratings from the Philly
Yeah.
Pittsburgh games were
Yeah,
through the
you're
roof.
right. You're right.
ESPN is getting $2 million on like
Maybe-
Tuesday nights.
Maybe they'll get a favorable
Is
whistle.
that the Olympic bump? Is that what that is?
I think it's the
Are people
market.
just waking up?
Buffalo's in it. Philly's back. Pittsburgh's
You know
back.
what?
I think good hockey markets are back.
We did our duty as a Canadian nation. We let them win. They're growing their game down there. It's exploding.
Sammy,
Their fans
Good
are.
of the game.
We had to do
So
it.
nice of you, Sammy.
We had to do it.
We're just trying to keep
Good
the
for
game
them.
afloat.
What a
Go in the game.
What a trooper you are.
We're charitable.
We need the Americans' money.
Our thanks to Steve Peters talking Arizona/Phoenix Coyotes.
Make
If
sure
you
you
get a
check
chance,
that. Yeah, make sure you check that.
download it. Also, Keith Jones, our thanks. Wish him the best of luck in the second round. Plenty more on Real Kyper and Bourne as we go national next. Kevin Lowe, 6-time Stanley Cup champion. All right, let's get her going. It's the National Hour on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Kevin Lowe, 6-time Stanley Cup champion, Hockey Hall of Famer, and where did last time we had him on our show, where was he? Where was he?
Mexico.
Mexico.
I wonder if he's still there.
I hope not. I can't take the background.
I don't know if he will be. I think it's.
I gotta tell you, anyone calls me to go on their show when I'm in Mexico, it's a no. So I appreciate it.
But if you live there,
yeah, he's got a spot. You're thinking he's not just a.
Hey, is this too much of a East Coast bias gripe here?
Depends what you're about to say.
I think Connor McDavid, with his back against the wall, should not be at 10:15 tonight.
So, like, screw Western Canada, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's late for them, too. Wouldn't it be an 8:15 start for them, right? It'd be 1 hour ahead of even when they're...
Was there in Anaheim?
Yeah, it's in Anaheim.
No, 3 hours
7.
behind us.
No, it'd be 8 there.
Oh, 8.
It'll be
Yeah,
8
he's
in
right.
Edmonton.
2 hours.
Yeah. So
2 hours?
Yeah. So it's 3 and... Okay.
How about 6?
Time zone starts, okay? Talk here. It's...
I'm not good at time zone talk.
3 hours ahead in Anaheim, and it would be 2 hours ahead of here in Edmonton.
Oh, I see
so it would be
your
8:15 still there.
I see your point.
I don't know. There's a big part of the country that...
So
this is a huge moment for the best player in the game.
So what time...
9.
Local
How about
Edmonton
9?
puck drop would you like for them?
7.
I'm on board.
7 o'clock.
7?
Yes.
7 p.m. Edmonton start.
God
6 p.m.
forbid.
in Anaheim. 9 o'clock for...
I wonder where they care more, Anaheim or Edmonton.
I'd go for that.
Okay, good
Yeah.
talk.
Everybody wins on that one.
Yes. 9's a perfect number.
The 1 hour of sleep, the old boys here just can't do it.
I'm getting old.
You're killing me.
But
That
it's
thing
just,
goes to OT. I just can't do it.
I don't know. I feel like it's a missed opportunity to have Connor McDavid in prime time. It feels like these late nights. I don't know.
So,
maybe I'm just an old guy.
I like the grade.
so
Thanks, man.
Connor, last time we did this and the Oilers were playing, we called Connor a game time decision.
and he
and-
disagreed post game.
Yeah, he was like, that.
Okay, where did that come from? That was an official announcement from the Edmonton Oilers.
That maybe there was some gamesmanship going into that game. That maybe they were saying, he might play.
It ended up being really strange that it didn't feel like a game time decision. He ended up playing 5 or 6 more minutes than he did the previous game.
Would you want to hear him? We had the clip from yesterday when he got asked about the game.
Yes.
What a bro.
Play that, please, Derek.
Chris, if you're a game time decision today, was there any likelihood you
No, there's never a doubt, obviously.
It's coming.
Do we not? Maybe we don't have it.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Never mind. It's all
McDavid.
good.
Okay.
Anyways, he was basically he just scoffed at the.
Chris, if you're a game time decision today, was there any likelihood you
No, there's never a doubt, obviously.
Never a doubt,
Yeah,
obviously.
never a doubt, obviously.
Well, seems like there was a bit of a doubt.
Yes. Because your team said that you were questionable, which implies some doubt. But I think that happens in playoffs, sir. It's like we're not telling you who a
He ended up
goalie's playing, if our best guy's
24,
playing.
25 minutes,
2 points.
2 points.
Easy dub for the Oil. I don't know, big game for Anaheim tonight.
That's it. If Anaheim's going to get it,
Yeah.
they better get it tonight.
I am going to be
They
locked.
looked the other night like deer in headlights.
They did.
And
Well, but
you're just wondering now, is it just too much too soon yet for this group? Can Joel Quenneville, and I think you or Sammy brought this up, that I don't know if you want another coach back there to give them a chance to settle down.
we talk about hearing footsteps on the ice. This is hearing footsteps in the series. Like, oh boy.
Okay, let's welcome him in. Hopefully not from Mexico, where I'll be incredibly jealous. Kevin Lowe, 6-time Stanley Cup champion. Lowsy, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, guys. Yep.
All right,
Can't
no
complain.
beach in the
You
background.
get that tan in Edmonton?
Actually, no. Yes, a little bit in Edmonton.
Okay.
So, Lowsy, playing Anaheim, and there was talk about maybe playing a tougher opponent. Did this series end up being something that ended up looking like a lot in your past, where you're expected to win, expected to roll over? It just doesn't happen, and the feeling is still the Oilers have their backs against the wall here. But can you relate to playing a team that you're supposed to win and maybe quite handily?
Well, I think the only time I recall would be in 1990 when we were down 3-1 to the Winnipeg Jets. Now, I don't think the discrepancy in the talent of the teams was the same because the Jets were a more veteran team, but I think the experience is the same, and I see this series unfolding similarly. I mean, obviously the Ducks are a team that are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the years to come, but I just think it's a little too early for them. The Oilers have not played a 60-minute game yet, and although they're down 3-2 in the series, they got a chance if they can play a 60-minute game to get this thing back to Edmonton, and I suspect they'd win the series. But no, I guess on the reverse side, it reminds me a little bit when we played the Montreal Canadiens in 1981. We finished 14th overall; they finished third, and I mean, I thought they were going to kill us, and we were just young enough and dumb enough to go out there and just play the game and not feel any pressure. Now, we swept the Canadiens. It was a 3 out of 5 series, but and that was a little foreshadowing for a team that would go on to be one of the greatest of all time in terms of, speaking about the Oilers here. I'm not sure the Ducks can be painted with that brush yet, but it's been a fun series, and it's nice to see the Oilers, almost get out offensed in this series, and which we haven't seen before. They've lost games because the other teams played good defense. So I'm pretty certain the Oilers are going to win tonight, but they've got to play 60 minutes, and they can't do like they did the other night in Game 5, where they got outshot 13-3 in the third period, because again, that's a recipe for disaster.
What did you make of the pregame talk last game that McDavid was kind of a game time decision? Then he goes out, plays 25. He's awesome. And he's like, I was never a game time decision.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, and I'm not close enough to the team, Justin, or I didn't even want to ask anybody about it. But I'm not sure what the rationale was there. If anything, everybody knew Connor was injured, so it's not like maybe it was just a little bit of reverse psychology. I guess just leave it at that.
So when you guys were going through all your playoff runs, like, injuries play such a big part of it. Did you ever go through any of these things where you're dealing with something and maybe you're not 100%, but like you're supposed to be at your best, but everyone's more hurt than they've ever been throughout the season?
Yeah, and maybe the Ducks aren't that way because they're a young team. They haven't gone through the wars yet, but most teams play with a bunch of injuries. I mean, I played a couple playoffs with significant injuries, but a lot easier for a defensive defenseman, where you don't have to go out and lead the attack and expect to score goals like Connor McDavid does, or Draisaitl, or how banged up is Zach Hyman? But I know that the desire for those guys, they don't want to see the season end this quickly, and they still see themselves as capable of winning a Stanley Cup. So we're going to see a heck of a game tonight.
You're watching and listening to 6-time Stanley Cup champion Kevin Lowe. 5 with the Oilers, 1 with me. Thought I'd throw that in, Losey. I'm sorry, but people tend to forget around here. When it comes to Evan Bouchard, like the growth in terms of his game on me is rather significant in the last little while, but I'm not sure he still gets recognized outside of Edmonton. We watched Paul Coffey the other day on Hockey Night talk about, just at the end of the day, just have more positive things happening than negative ones, and you'll be fine. And what do you see in terms of his growth and what he's provided? Like, he's a point a game guy in the playoffs, while Connor and Leon are at 1.5. I mean, his is quite significant as well.
Yeah, and he's not riding on their coattails. You could argue at times that they're riding on his coattails, and it's Paul Coffey all over again. Koff matured into a better defender as the seasons moved on. He saw the importance for winning cups, And, he took pride in it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he was an offensive machine. And that's what Evan Bouchard is. And he's really lucky that he has, Koff there coaching him, to obviously, be able to crack down on him when he needs to reel it in and, to focus a little bit more. But, hey, listen, I mean, this is the whole debate going out through the hockey world, the Norris Trophy vote and stuff. And, unfortunately, Evan had a poor Eastern swing early in the season, and that solidified his not being selected for the Canadian Olympic team. But I've seen this guy in the playoffs, man, and those are the players I want, the guys that step up, and he has not let this team down. In fact, he's been a machine. So he's going to have to be again tonight, and I expect he's going to have a heck of a game.
All right, Lozy, I just need a little insight here. This is just me and you talking. Forget about everybody else here. Like, what's the deal with Koff? He leaves, he comes back, he goes again. Like, what was going on there?
Well, I don't think that Koff really wanted to coach, to be honest. He enjoys it. He's got a bad back, and standing behind the bench is not the easiest thing in the world. But, he made such a major impact in the previous seasons. And when the team was, swirling, you want to do something. So the fact that he was still in the organization in a senior management role, it's like when you're asked, hey, just tell me what you need me to do and I'll do it. And I'm sure that call came from way up, and they've been a lot different since he's come in there.
It's working, no question about that.
Kevin, you can feel free to tell me to go kick rocks if you don't want to talk about this, but I just was wondering if we could get your thoughts on the Pronger situation. Did you guys get that worked out? I don't know if we're okay to talk.
Were you drunk when you signed him? I want to know.
All right.
What's in that? What was it? What was in that cup?
Yeah. It's Gatorade.
You guys,
I'm in BC. It's only 2:00.
So I don't know if people know.
No problem.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm happy to answer it, Justin. Hey, listen, I have nothing against Prongs. He came in and had a heck of a season for us. He's a warrior. He's a great player. He deserves all the awards. The only thing I was disappointed was with how he reflected Edmonton within the excerpts in his book. And that's all it was. It was like, hey, listen, I mean, we're not a punching bag. We're a legit championship city with championship people and a great place to live. And, I mean, no offense to Dryden, Ontario, where Chris was born, but I mean, I don't, he grew up in Dryden, Ontario. So it's just, it's sometimes easy when people are, spewing stuff out of their mouth, and they just got to think a little bit more. And that's what I was disappointed with. So I didn't want to, stand up for Edmonton, felt that had to be said. We dealt with a lot of this prior to that, in the decades previous that, why would anyone want to go to Edmonton? And as I touched on, I was so touched when Billy Guerin and Dougie Waite were there for Dougie's Oiler Hall of Fame evening, and they spoke glowingly about the impact it made on their lives growing up as young people. And they a couple American guys cut their teeth in Edmonton, the city of champions.
Well, certainly this time of year, we've seen it already a couple of times with visits to the final. It is spectacular, like how it's almost like a light switch where the city and the community just come together. And we're seeing it in Montreal too, like the wave of fans outside the building. Lozy, do you recall it ever being like that during your 5 runs there, like that?
No. It's a new level now. But of course, the area is being created for fans. Gives them the opportunity. The Ice District I'm talking about, LA Live in Los Angeles. The way the building in Montreal is designed, and the teams are catering to the people that can't get into the building, so want to create an atmosphere. It's very very Mardi Gras like. Hey, we do have we can't have a deep, dark winter in Edmonton. I'll be honest. And, you know, as I said, a number of times to people, you know, it always seemed to happen. We'd be in the playoffs, of course, you know, it's April now and the weather gets nice. You know, the patios are open. We'd be driving to the games and looking at all the people hanging out. And it was exciting for us to see people, you know, enjoying themselves. And I know it is for the players, the present day players. They love to see, you know, the kind of excitement. They know that, hey, at the end of the day, they're winning for themselves and for their teammates and for the Oilers. But there's lots of pride in having success and having everyone share in the excitement.
It's been, for that to happen, they're going to need some goaltending. That's been a bit of a roller coaster this year. But Ingram seems like the guy. Well, how do you feel not about his goaltending, but about the idea that his coach came out and said, that's our guy? You know, like this is, he really kind of drove a stake in the ground with Ingram even before playoffs.
Well, he earned it. I mean, ever since he came into Edmonton, there's a calmness about his game. I mean, he's certainly a likable guy. You know, when you listen to him interviewed and talk to him, it's you know, soft spoken, intelligent, and he's earned it. I think he's played well in all the games. I mean, that's the goaltending they need. They just need someone to make the saves when the saves need to be made, and they don't necessarily need anyone to steal a game. Although, you know, like he did in Game 5 in the third period, when he shut the door, didn't allow Anaheim to get any momentum. I mean, he's going to have to do that tonight for sure. But hopefully the Oilers play. You know, they're on their toes and they're playing in Anaheim's end more. That's what we haven't seen as much, and that'll go a long way to make Connor Ingram obviously settle into a game. But he's earned everything, and we're cheering hard for him.
That's Losey. That's where the foot soldiers kind of come in, right? And Podkolzin's come a long way as a regular and a guy that is now very important to the Oilers.
Is he ever? He's played this way since he came here. I mean, even when he wasn't producing offensively, I just loved the way they played. And, you know, I knew that the team was missing a player like that. They could. He reminds me of Adam Graves, actually. When Adam was, you know, and Adam went on to score 50 goals in the NHL. I'm not sure, you know, I don't know if Pod's going to do that or not, but very effective player, banging bodies. And I mean, he's one-punched a few guys as well, so he's legit. I mean, when he steps into someone, you know, they're not taking him lightly anymore. So, and we've got some size, you know. Some of those younger guys have played well. That showed a little inexperience, taken some questionable penalties. They're going to have to stay out of the penalty box, obviously, the way Anaheim's power play is. But, you know, and they learned that over the series. Like, you know, Szymanski's taken a couple. I mean, I'd be shocked that he takes one tonight, and the same thing with Doc. But I like their size, and they can play a heavy game. And typically when they're on the ice, they're playing in the other team's end. Anaheim's done a good job of, you know, getting in and getting in our face and getting us running around our own end. And the Oilers need to do a little more of that.
Looking forward to the game tonight. Losey, always appreciate you coming on our show. We love it. Thanks for doing this.
My pleasure, guys.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Kevin Lowe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
he's done everything too, eh?
He has.
Have you been to Dryden, Ontario?
No.
It caught a stray there.
I stayed I drove across the country when I was younger. Stayed at the Timberland Motel in Dryden, Ontario on my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and thoughts, would you like to give us a review?
Can't really remember a whole lot. I went to the beer store, went to KFC, and that was it. So, and then I left the next morning at 6 a.m., but it was cold and it was May. So.
Hometown of Chris Brown.
Losey's got this like switch too. Like you wouldn't really think about it because he was never like a heavy guy. He could catch you too.
Yeah,
he could catch you, but he was not this heavy beastie guy. But he had a light, like a switch, and he can go squirrely on you.
Yeah, it's funny looking back at his career when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think we said this the other day, but like I never thought of him as like that. And then you watch the highlight packs and like all they were showing was him during the squirrely moments, and I was like, oh, I wasn't aware of that element.
So what are your sort of overall thoughts about this game tonight? Just like what are you looking for?
The one thing I know that our boy Jason Bukala thinks that Anaheim is big, right?
Yeah.
They've got a big size, big forward core that makes them a challenge. I just feel like tonight's a night where experience comes into play. Edmonton goes on the road, gets the chance to kind of quiet a crowd. Anaheim has expectations, finish them off. We're at home. If not tonight, we're going to lose it. It's just a lot for Anaheim tonight.
Yeah, a couple pucks enter the net in the first 10 minutes of the game.
That's
and
it.
Just like,
That's
oh my
it.
God.
Oilers give up 4. It's over. Like they got to keep it. They got to keep Anaheim off the scoreboard or give up 1. I think in the first 35 minutes,
There
40
is
minutes.
no number Anaheim can score in the first period.
I know,
that
but
will make me think they're safe.
Agree.
8-0.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Edmonton's not done yet.
they got to frustrate them offensively like they did the other night.
Yeah, certainly. And it
But
just
you can't win games giving up 4 a night.
no
5 a night.
And they were good last game. Ingram was good. They've shown the ability to
3 or
lock
less,
it
they'll be
down.
fine.
Yeah.
3 or less, they'll be
Totally.
fine.
Sperry Kapanen leading the boys to 4 goals in the playoffs.
I'm sick to admit this, and I don't know if my Leaf fan brethren will be with me, but I do have some nerves going into this one.
Because you want Edmonton to win.
I really do. And I do, like, when I did my bracket, I chose the Sens out of pure schadenfreude, whatever that is, right? Is that the right word?
No,
Schadenfreude?
definitely not. No.
No? I feel like that's something.
It's
Is it something? I don't know.
He's taking pleasure in someone else's failure.
Yes.
So
yeah,
yeah.
I was picking them out of that. But I really did believe that the Oilers would get past this and go all the way to the final.
Yeah.
I can't have Connor be going out in the first round. Like, he's got to get one of these soon.
Yeah.
So it's a big one tonight. I can't wait.
I just do not want to deal with that whole what do the Oilers do now conversation tomorrow. I don't want that.
Sure?
I don't want it. No.
You don't want to do it?
No, he doesn't want to do it April 31st.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
May
No,
1st.
no.
Right.
Already doing it in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Been doing it for like 2 months now in Toronto, 3 months in Toronto. Don't need it. Vancouver, like, come on.
This is the perfect year for Edmonton to go get their cup for me. Because it's like, I don't really, outside of the central teams, it's pretty unimpressive. And those teams are going to whittle themselves down to 1. So that's your
The Mammoth are
monster.
giving Vegas every little bit they could handle and should have probably won the series in 5 games.
Yeah.
But they blew 2 late leads and lost in double overtime twice.
Vegas might just limp their way to the cup final too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. You want to talk about that game?
Yeah, I do. Because he scored the go-ahead goal with, 6 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. And I don't know if you guys saw, like, the line change on the game-tying goal.
No.
But
I saw Veggie
I think it was our flex foot. What was it? Flex seal. Alex Kerfoot. What did I call him? Flex foot.
Well, we called him yarn foot or whatever it was once upon a time.
So they had a clean breakout.
God, you killed me.
Yeah.
They had a clean breakout with a minute to go.
Yarn foot.
And for whatever reason, Flex Seal turned the wrong way and couldn't get his feet moving, and he just threw the puck up the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
And then Anderson fires it right back in. And
your boy.
Yeah, it's just like
I also out there defending the lead in the final moments, it was Nate Schmidt. Nate Schmidt was out there with Sergachev. And I was like, what do they have for kind of lockdown, shutdown D types? I guess Ian Cole would be an option, but like, I don't know. Nate Schmidt's good, but he's a what? 6 on Panthers that won.
Their decor is not
7 on Panthers, I should say.
Their decor is not really impressive. And if you think about a team that's looking with all those prospects and all those picks, if there's a team that like the Adam Fox team or like somebody, they're a team that's looking for a big time.
Go get another D.
Yeah.
You think that one's over? No, that one's going 7.
I don't know.
They're going to Utah for game 6. Probably go 7.
I don't know. I just feels like such a big chance.
Or Vegas just 5-0.
Young team. That was such a great opportunity for them to go up 3-2. I don't know.
Carter Hart's hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know to say. Just puck center of the
All
net.
right.
Like, no goalie really has blown me away in these playoffs outside of Frederik Andersen. And I know Allmark was good too, but just pucks fly in the net most of these nights.
I got to say, the number one guy that I watched play in the minors during my years there that I cannot believe has had a great career is Michael Carcone, who fine in the minors. He's fine. I was like, he's okay. And he's just been.
He's not the biggest guy. Eh?
No, he's just been
a little fella.
consistently. Well, not that he's short. He's just lean, and he's just. I don't know. He's been quite good for Utah. Become quite an NHLer. Blake Coleman kind of did that.
Anyways, game time.
Game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Let's go to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays head out on the road after a 4-2 homestand, which is nice. Kind of heading back towards the 500 median. I think they're 14-16 now. So creeping their way back into it, starting to get healthy. George Springer back at the top of the lineup tonight. Kevin Gausman
Is that better than Miles Straw or no? I think probably yes.
Don't you dare disparage my boy Straw.
I like Miles Straw.
I love Straw. Get a Straw jersey. Only guy on the team I get a jersey of. They are in.
Gonna look like Miles Straw.
Oh, okay, white with a beard. They are in Minnesota to take on the Twins. There's this weird thing with Kevin Gausman and the Twins over his career. They've had something on him.
Really?
They've struggled against the Twins. There's been times that they've been like accused of him of tipping against the Twins, and they have something on him. So I don't necessarily love this matchup for the Jays tonight, and the Twins are underdogs in this game, as you would imagine. Plus 115 on the money line. Don't mind a little happiness hedge on the Twins tonight because they've always had a little something on Gausman. Yeah, it was a former manager, so maybe they don't have as much as they used to, but it's within that organization. People talk, and he's always struggled against them. You'll think back to the wild card game where he gave up a bong. Anyways,
all right,
you probably wouldn't.
Nope,
you're a new fan, so.
You know a fun fact? When they won the World Series in '93, my friend was swinging a baseball bat, let it go, and the first time it broke my nose, like right.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. Good time.
Wow, that sounds great. And the other game I'll bring up, Oilers in Anaheim tonight. Oilers, as you would imagine, their faves tonight. Minus 130 on the money line. Anaheim Ducks plus 110. Bet365 thinks this baby is going back to Alberta for Game 7. And that was Game Time, presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. And a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne is brought to you by Bet365.
All right.
Okay, let's take a quick break. And when we return, little Tampa Montreal talk.
Yeah, we still got some clips from there. Gallagher and Marty St. Louis.
One game away
Cooper.
from eliminating the Tampa Bay Lightning as the Montreal Canadiens go in last night. Take a commanding 3-2 series lead. That more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back in studio. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee.
Time now for the Acura Performance Matchup 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium. And big one tonight again. Oh, these games are just so good.
Yeah,
but I will say, though, I'm kind of sad. Tonight's like 2 games.
Which, honestly, tonight's the first night of playoffs where it's like, it's going to be like this.
We're getting there.
2.
Like the first week of this, you're like, it's never going to end. And then it's like, oh my God, there's 2 games tonight. Anyways, looking at Dallas, Minnesota, game 6, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet 360. Stars franchise has forced a game 7 after trailing 3-2 in a series 9 prior times in their history. So they've done this a ton. Mikko Rantanen has found the score sheet in each of his last 11 games when facing potential elimination dating back to game 7 of the 2019 second round. So this guy is an absolute horse in these games.
So good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big one. It just feels – what?
No, I just think that's like if you're doing like looking for a player to have a big night, it's kind of like, is Rantanen going to drag them through? Robertson has given him, 5 goals or something already, but I don't know that you'll look to him as much as Rantanen tonight.
Come down to Ottinger again. What'd you think of him in the last one? Last game.
It doesn't really matter. He has to win the series, or else it's just the same question all over again. And can this guy get the job done? Can he win? Can he? Can't even beat now someone other than the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
How will Gulutzan act after the post game? He'll
be careful.
Yeah, he'll be very careful.
He won't be saying anything mean about him.
No challenging Jake.
Heiskanen, 6 points in 5 games. He's been real good. Matt Duchene, 8 points for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, he's had a real resurrection of his career. I hope this goes 7. I really do.
He's like doing prep for the game right now, so he's not listening. Never loved how he plays. I know he's talented. Everyone
flashy.
Yeah.
95. Tinted visor. A little bit of a hot dog.
Ultimately though,
super talented.
He's not a go-to guy. He's just falls right underneath.
That's kind of what,
and he has to. If it's not Rantanen and Wyatt Johnson and Robertson not leading the way, like he's 4th or 5th guy.
Right.
He's
and
not a star.
I don't think if you asked him that, he would agree with you.
No. He also was on the 2014 Olympic team.
He only makes 4.5. He's not making.
Well, I know he's towards the end of his career, and he's bounced around a few times, and he's made his money, but not a go-to guy as a 1-2.
But good support guy. 8 points in 5 games, not bad. So
far really good. Anyways, that was the Acura Performance Matchup, the 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium.
Okay.
Quick
mention of the Vancouver Canucks. They're doing a GM search, interviewing.
I just saw the story on the website. Brett Peterson. Was he a Florida guy?
I think it's imperative for teams like Toronto and Vancouver to really show that you're taking this seriously and you're looking under every rock and you've covered yourself. The last thing you want to be accused of is just not taking the time that is needed for something so important.
Yeah, that you didn't put the thought into it or consider other possibilities.
So,
but you think they maybe have someone in mind.
I go with Ryan Johnson.
Yeah. So
I think they come back to him.
We talked to lots of people.
Yeah.
We love this guy.
He's in the organization. He's got relationships. I think people around there that have sticking around, and we'll include Adam Foote there. I don't know about Jimmy in terms of how long he ultimately stays, but there's comfort. There's comfort there. Familiarity.
They have 55 points last year.
Now the question is where's Francesco on it? Is he like, okay, we got Ryan here and that's good, but show me some other options. Let me see some other names. Let me hear resumes and experience, and ultimately he'll decide, right?
It's like my family ordering off a menu at a fancy restaurant. Oh yeah, it all looks interesting. Burger. Give me the smash burger.
You guys got a chicken sandwich by any chance?
Yeah. How about a chicken sandwich or a burger?
Here's a question, maybe a little too inside baseball, but how often is that the case? where like a general manager or sorry, a president or an owner or whatever, where they're like, we know who we're hiring, but we better let our fans think that we're doing everything. Like, is that a lot? It feels like you're going to tell me that happens all the time.
They know out of the gate.
Yeah.
I think they have some idea.
Okay.
Which is not against the law.
And I'm sure there's examples where they thought they were also going one way and maybe somebody comes in at the last minute and wows somebody. I don't think that hasn't happened.
I do think everyone looks at Toronto at times, and Toronto kind of took a lot of heat for being like, okay, we moved on from Dubas, the first guy everyone thought of Tree. It's Tree. Yeah. He's the obvious name is Tree. It's like, and didn't go good.
But there was
that was a big
there was this
experience.
Yeah, there was also just a feel of sense of urgency too there. That let's just get somebody else in, someone with experience, someone who's been around the corner. Tree's never been a guy that didn't have a great reputation for work ethic, and we hear how many times, forget about if he's slow to ever pull the trigger. The guy's never not on the phone. He works hard.
Yeah.
There's just so many reasons why Brendan could go, yeah, let's just get him in here. He's safe.
Great relationships with everybody around the league, like you've said multiple times. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Did you want to do some talk about the Habs?
Yeah, I do, because
a few clips.
Pretty impressive win, boys, last night for them to go back into Tampa after a disappointing overtime loss.
Yeah, we did talk about that, going into last night, that we would learn a lot about Montreal. And I think we did. They don't go away easy. They believe in themselves.
They're a true threat.
And you saw post a bunch of their interviews and all that, the boys they're into it. This is a good group, it looks like.
This is a disgusting admission for a Leaf fan to make, but I've always liked Brendan Gallagher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy that I should
like that about Marchand too, where it's
he's
respect.
He's just a gamer, and they put him back in that game and he hasn't played. I don't know when the last time he played a game was. He gets in there, lands on his stick in the slot, pokes it home. It's just awesome.
Exactly the type of goal he was always gonna score.
Did you want to hear from him? Sort of talking about being in and out of the lineup. Yeah. Let's play Gallagher on playing on and off there, Derek. Clip one.
Yeah, I mean it's the same now as it was my first year in the league. You just take nothing for granted, and I know how good this group is. I know how deep they are, and so opportunities are going to be limited. Doesn't mean they're not going to come. You just got to be ready when they do. And like I said, it's a really talented group. It's a very deep group, and we have a lot of guys that can get the job done. And when your number's called, you just want to make sure that you're accountable to your teammates and get the job done as well.
That's just a pro.
Little borderline French accent there. Come those clips. Is he picking something out? It's like somebody backpacking through Australia coming back.
It just seems to me like overall Montreal is just faster. They're just quicker. They're more precise with
their the puck fast.
Well,
I wish I had a stat for that.
They pass so well.
I appreciate Ryan McDonough and Chernak.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys don't move like that other guy named Hudson.
Oh my God.
You don't have one of those.
No, not many people do, bud. Not many people
and
do.
it's a game changer.
Yeah. And that's why the Leafs need to get that 5th overall pick, so maybe they can get one.
Someone who can move the puck from the back end. We also have Martin St. Louis weighing in on Brendan Gallagher.
Great clip.
Who got back in the game. Let's listen to that.
I was happy for him, happy for us, but happy for him that he's able to give us an early lead like that. And it's, where Gally's going to go. He's going to go right where he scores his goal. That's where he's going to go. And I think it came time in the series where I felt like we probably need a little more of that, and I know Gally's going to give you that. So really happy the way he's handled everything, and not surprised the way, how he did tonight.
Yeah, that's a large 7 minutes.
Yeah. But it's just having him out there and just having him on the bench, it just matters.
He just knows he's smart. He's an experienced player. It's the perfect guy to pull out of your press box, basically. It's
absolutely perfect.
It's a really good fit.
And just watching Kucherov, it just when he zags, it zigs, and he's not nothing gets through. There's a lot of hopers, and at times he's so dangerous because he can still throw a puck at the net. And we saw the Hagel goal the other day, but like you can tell, like it's just he's not feeling it. It's just not rolling for him right now.
I will say, though, if you watch that last 80 seconds with the goalie pulled, watch Tampa Bay move that puck around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't believe they didn't score.
Blinding.
I know.
Zing, 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 zing,
Can't
zing.
believe they didn't score. I was ready
But
for the big eruption. Hagel, the
this
top
guy-
one in.
Totally.
This guy
Never
was
happened.
like 3 or 4 points going down the stretch too,
Yeah, per game.
right? And
Yeah.
it's he's fighting tooth and nail.
I saw this from Ethan Badowski on Twitter that Kucherov has scored 1 goal in his last 19 playoff games, and Andre Vasilevsky is 6-15 with an .881 save percentage in the playoffs since the Lightning lost the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup
It's
Finals.
hard.
The game-winning goal, like
Oh my God, it's brutal.
come on, you got to catch a puck.
It's brutal.
You're
it.
one of the
Can I
best
say one?
goalies in history this time of year, and you never saw that.
Let's ask the best talker in the National Hockey League, Coach John Cooper, about Vasilevsky.
You sort of alluded over the last couple of days that one mistake could be the difference in the series. Like, obviously, that's one Andre's probably going to want to have back. Like, what do you say to him in a situation like that, when that one goes in?
Listen, I don't play the position. I think it's one of the toughest positions in the sports. And the fact that we had ample time to get another one back, but I didn't, it stems way before that. It doesn't stem by the time Texier gets down the ice. It stems from the change and how we went about it and the mistakes we made on the way there. And, forever, like all Vasi does is bail us out of those when we have them. I think the rare time, sometimes he doesn't. But that, we let that he should have never got that deep into our zone, and he got a lot on it. So it wasn't like Vasi got beat. He had it. It just took a Montreal bounce, and so it was a little unfortunate for us. But like I said, we had ample time and ample chances to tie it, and we didn't.
You sure about that?
So in other words,
You sure about that?
what he really said was, the guy's giving me Stanley Cup rings,
Yeah.
and I'm not crapping all over
Yeah, I'm
him.
going to sit up here and be
So,
like, he didn't
I'm
catch
protecting
what I
him
thought.
till the day I die.
So next question, please.
It's the same cast of characters.
So I don't know if this is an uncomfortable question to ask, but I'm going to ask it. They've been brutal in the playoffs for a long time here, and they've spent a lot of first-round picks to make this team and a lot of money, and they've lost. Is there a chance here?
I saw you just had the Leafs just signed John
Not-
Cooper.
not
in your mind.
even
I
the
saw what
Leafs.
happened there.
I mean, listen, sure, the Leafs are looking for a coach, but actually they're not, because they're just going to bring Craig Berube back for 100 years because he's perfect. But is there a chance that this is the end if they lose this? No chance.
What does that mean?
Like, is it the end for him in Tampa?
John Cooper.
Yes. How
No,
can we not
no.
have this conversation? They've been brutal for 5 years in the playoffs.
He's like an old university coach at a college who's
All
been the
right.
coach for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like he's an
I guess.
institution.
Listen,
Is he
you-
Red
I guess,
Barons
man.
fan for
Maybe,
the-
but like they're still really good, and they're
Sure.
still in their
But they
prime, and
Stink
they're
it
gonna.
up every year in the
Well, no,
first
they're not.
round.
They're still gonna come back and compete for a Stanley Cup next year.
All right. I guess I'm not allowed to ask the question,
Now-
but man, they
You
just
ask it, you're just getting your answer.
You
they
may.
stink right now. They stink in the playoffs every year. They
Oh,
get
man.
filled in.
They didn't get eliminated yet, son.
Well, if they do, when is it? Friday night, or when do they play next?
Must be Friday.
Like-
Saturday, whenever it is.
They're still good,
Friday.
and there's not like
Guess who else was good? The Leafs when they fired Sheldon Keefe. Like, teams are good. Teams have fired Stanley Cup champion coaches after 5 years of ineptitude.
he's one of the highest paid guys.
Okay.
They own money.
It is a funny thing though. Like,
Just he's untouchable.
well, but I guess the thing.
Raptors fired Nick
Who are you
Nurse
gonna go
right
get?
after-
Who are you gonna go get? You're like, this is an upgrade from John Cooper. Meanwhile, every team in the league's falling all over themselves to get Cooper.
That's the best point.
You'd have to have the Kucherov's points. Unfortunately, he's lost Hedman's, but Hedman, if he's planning on coming back, would have a voice, and there'd have to be like 6 of them going, we need a change to ownership.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like it's heading there.
You could trade for a head coach.
The Hedman
a
thing,
lot of people would.
the
drop
Hedman
him
thing
on.
has hurt the ball club.
Yes,
Okay.
I said that one team lost Dobson, one team lost Hedman, but for Tampa, that's a bigger.
And Hedman's game is catching up to him a little bit, right? Father time too.
Yeah.
But he's still very effective. But like I said, they don't have a Hudson.
No. Okay.
Okay, that was questioning John Cooper hour.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
We have
It's
a couple
okay.
of
Sorry to offend you.
No, we're not offended. We know you
feel
want
a
him
little-
behind the Leaf bench. We know that.
Can I zag on that?
If you want to.
I don't know. Like, does he want to do that? Like, is that a good mix here?
Listen, if he's got patience and he wants to wait a few years for a potential turnaround,
I clearly would want it for sure, but I think some of the act may wear thin quickly.
I don't think Kip got the memo that they're turning it around next year. Did you not know that that's their plan?
they can have any plan they want, but I don't think it'll come that quickly, personally.
How many more points do the Leafs have this year if John Cooper's behind the bench?
I don't want to play that game.
Okay. We don't have to. If you do want to play that game, call our Leaf line tomorrow, 416-413-4141, and you can play that game there.
So one thing we don't do a ton of on this show is bring up our old takes and stuff. But one day removed from being hard on Dorofeyev, him to have a hat trick, we have to at least bring it up.
But yeah, I told you he can shoot it in the net like the best of them.
Yeah.
But the game before, he benched him in the third period. He didn't put him out on the ice, basically.
Yeah. We do have torts.
Yeah, I mean,
let's hear it.
But
did he refer to it?
He backed Kip up.
Listen to the clip. Listen to the clip.
I haven't really talked to him that much, quite honestly. We're just, he knows what to expect, and players make big plays at key times. He's done that for us here the past couple of games, and should have had 4. But perfect timing. It's good timing. He was fighting it a little bit. He's found his game. Hopefully it'll continue.
Have you ever heard of a less complimentary guy with a
He
hat
scored a
trick?
goal with 30
Should've
seconds
had
left
4.
in regulation to take it to OT in a game your team won. And he was like, I don't know. He's been fighting it.
He's fighting it.
Should have had more.
Torts.
You guys, like,
Speak torts.
you see the story about Seattle Kraken letting Jessica Campbell, or not go, but she's exploring other opportunities.
I did.
Like, no question, like the PR on being the first woman, it's a big deal. And like, this is strange to me because they went through firing last year, Bilesma, a few of the assistant coaches, but they specifically kept her. And I get it, right? I get it. They made a big commitment to this. And for obvious historic reasons, it was a really big deal. And I get that. For her to just like leave now seems really strange to me.
Well, but to your point, is it not a new coaching staff that was handed a hire that they didn't make? Isn't that a bit of a conflict or a challenge? We've talked
Lambert's
about how
there now,
you
right?
want to hire your own people, and maybe Lambert's right. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I think man or
Just-
woman, they stunk last year.
it's just-
like,
they stunk out loud.
There's yeah.
I mean,
But,
like a lot
just
of
strictly, there's no fit for her there. They have they can't.
Kipper,
There's
they
no place
suck.
for her now.
Like how many teams across the league, regardless of man or woman, lose assistant coaches lose their job all the time when teams just suck. And
But
they
then
suck down
she
the
should have
stretch.
lost her job when others lost their
Sure.
job.
And when she lost her job now,
Are they blaming her more than anything now?
I don't know.
It's just
But-
strange. The timing's strange
the
to me.
Leafs did that this year, where they were like, I don't know, fire an assistant. We got to do something. She was running power play. They're 20-something in power play. They're 31st in PK. I don't know what her responsibilities
They
were.
were awful. Down
The
the
one
stretch.
thing I
they
do
traded
take
for
on,
Bobby McMahon to like make the playoffs, and then they finished 6th last. So
I do think anyone who claims to have a clue about the performance of an assistant coach of any team in the NHL is talking out of their
I just don't
whatever.
think I don't think we talk about any assistant coaches anywhere.
I can tell you, any staff I've seen, they're very different roles and responsibilities. And like, watch the Leafs. I watch the Leafs every day. I know every staff member. I can't claim to know the detail of the responsibility of the assistant coaches.
Well, you probably figured out Savvy this year.
Yeah, fair enough.
That one was pretty.
But like when I worked with Sheldon Keefe, he took the teams in our division and said, you're responsible I got Bridgeport and Hartford, and someone else got whatever. And we specialized in an opponent. You had to watch 14 games of that opponent and then give a briefing to the, who would have known that outside? Nobody. So I just think anyone saying they know how good or bad an assistant coach is talking about, you know what?
2 games tonight. Are there going to be game 7s in these 2 series, or they're going to be ending? How do you see it happening? You're going Edmonton's going to win. You think Edmonton's still going to win?
Edmonton's winning. I think the Wild have a great chance to get her done tonight.
Oh, I'd like to see that go 7 games too.
Oh, me too.
I would love to see that.
Okay, so pick Dallas.
No.
I picked Dallas.
I picked Minnie to win it.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah, the series. Did you guys go Dallas to win the series?
Yeah, Kyper, I think I'm going to go 1-8 in my first round pick. If Edmonton
that
loses
sounds
tonight,
about right.
If Edmonton
It's a tough year. It's a tough year in general. I think
Our thanks to Steve Peters as we talked Arizona, Phoenix. John Chayka, if you get a chance, download that. Also, Keith Jones, president of the Philadelphia Flyers. And Kevin Lowe made it a terrific 2 hours.
Awesome. Great show, boys.
2 games on tap. As our Sammy alluded to, everything gets started 7:30 on Sportsnet. Enjoy your games, and we're back tomorrow on The Real Kyper and Bourne Show.